Bambaleje, bambaleje, ala ala bambunta. Sangkan bebe kembuje, bebe ma bekungo la kuloninda dogo. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. The members of the high table, my fellow speakers, very pleased to share the platform with you. My friend, Jane, the doctor, Jiva, Ustaz, and Professor, and all the sisters out there. I'm very pleased to share with you, Sahmati. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Saffiatou and Co. Thank you very much for inviting me. Saffiatou always reminds me about the IIUM, the International Islamic University in Malaysia. Right, and I'm very pleased to be here today. Now, when I hear the word zero waste, my mind went to a management concept of zero defects, which is very similar to the Japanese concept of Kaizen, which simply means continuous improvement. That there is always room for improvement in anything we do. In that philosophy, the environment, in the age of global warming, our environment is a very critical issue. Now, today it reminds me of a very, very long time in the 90s when I was a student in Malaysia and went for a visit to Singapore to see my foster family, and we were riding a train in the underground. And I had a ticket with me. I decided to just nibble on it. You know those boys' attitudes, right? And my foster family was sitting right across me, and I could see the panic on their face as they are, my foster sister asked me, "What are you chewing?" I just said, "Well, it's just a piece of paper," and I took it out. Well, she was concerned because in Singapore, if you are caught chewing gum in a tube or in a public place, you could be charged $1,000 for the first time. And that's the least kind of punishment. You could be charged for a second time, maybe $3,000 or $5,000. And then further, maybe you may even be caned. So you can understand. There is a philosophy in that country that makes it one of the cleanest countries in the world. That makes it one of the most neat countries in the world. So you would ask, what did it get for them? For a country of 4 million people, receiving 15 million tourists every year, that's big business, isn't it? That's a big economy. 15 million people, the Gambia gets maybe less than 500,000 people. Most of the tourists go there because it is clean, simple. So, it is always important that in every generation we begin to ask questions. In order to improve, in order to solve problems, we must ask questions. That's the way it's been. The only reason we can say that the Romans are able to maintain an empire for 1,000 years is because in the public squares of the Rome, people are allowed and encouraged to come out, speak their mind, and ask questions. In Timbuktu, for the 400 years of the Malian Empire, people are allowed to voice and ask questions. When we ask questions, we can improve our standard of living. We ask questions not only to ourselves, but to those that we put in authority, those that are in charge, the central governments, the area councils that are supposed to clean our markets, that are supposed to clean our hospitals, the toilets, Because I always say the most basic function of an area council is to keep the toilet clean. Questions must be asked in order for societies to improve. Questions were asked. The scientists are here. Before Isaac Newton came up with the laws of motion and gravity, there were questions. And obviously, youth were asking questions in Suratul Kahf before they went on and slept for 309 years. You remember the story? They were asking questions of the society. We cannot be contented. And when they woke up and thought that they had only slept for a day or two, they were asking questions. We have been taught as Muslims to always ask questions. Zulkarnain gave us an answer when he was asked if there are consequences for what we do. Kulna ya Zulkarnain fa imma an tu'azziba wa imma an tattagiza fihim husna. There must be a consequence for us, for our public elected officials, and for everybody, both in this world and in the next. Musa alayhi wasalam has it not shown us that we must be able to ask questions anytime of anything that is happening in our society. If we are not happy with our environment, we ask. If we are not happy with the corruption, we ask. Why did Musa confronted Samiri and ask him to explain why he was spreading corruption on the land? Kala fama katabuka ya Samiri. And hold on, should we not ask our friends questions? Should we not ask our government or area council questions simply because we belong to the same party? Should we not ask our family questions? We should ask everybody questions. Musa alayhi wasalam confronted his brother, Haruna, grabbed him by the head, grabbed the beard so hard that it hurts. Kala ya Haruna ma manaka izra'itahum dallu. Should we not ask questions to our brothers? If the people in authority, if the people that are supposed to keep the environment clean, if they have answers and those answers are genuine, then they will be recorded in history. If the answers are flimsy, they will go with the wind. But if they are true and factual, then they will be recorded just like those questions that were asked in Bethlehem 2,000 years ago. 2,000 years ago, when Maryam alayhi salam was surrounded by the people of the town and asked one of the most iconic historic questions ever. Kalu ya Maryam, laqad ji'ta shay'an farriya. Ya ukta Haruna, ma kana abuki amran sawwa, wa ma kana ummuki bakiyan. And if they have answers, and if their answers are truth and factual, they will be recorded in history. Today, even in this day of social media, one of the most vocal voices, one of the most eloquent voices on TikTok and YouTube and all the social media is the answer to the question that was asked to Maryam alayhi salam. Kala inni abdullahi atani al-kitaban wa ja'alani nabiyyan وَجَعَلْنِي مُبَارَكًا أَيْنَمَا كُنْتُ وَأَوْصَانِي بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالزَّكَاةِ مَا دُمْتُ حَيًّا. If they have answers, those answers to solve the problems of our society, if those answers are factual to solve the problems of our environment, they will be recorded in history. Assalamu alaikum.
When the idea came through my able sister, at first we laughed about it, and then again we sleep over it. The next minute, it is today been shared among all of us, and that is the Zero Waste Project. I will first of all thank my family for the support, the sponsors. I can't pay them. The guest speakers. I cannot do this alone. And therefore, we need the entire Gambia to come together and make this Zero Waste Project a reality. Over the years, we have seen our environment, the nature of it. Yes, and now it is the time. This is not about us just gathering to hear beautiful speeches, or let's say, listen to beautiful intellectuals who have given their best to you. It's about the implementation of what we have learned on this platform. I have one problem about our youths. We easily give up. And that's why we cannot reach the dreamland that we are still tumbling upon. And that's why the politicians will use us and dump us. And that's why when our leaders went round and see the desperateness of the people, they use it to abuse you. It is time for the youths of the Gambia to look into ourselves and ask, what am I doing for my nation? What is your role? Is it that you're waiting for somebody to give you directions, or you are going to wait for somebody to push you to the ladder, then you can act? No. It is the 21st century. We need to what? Change the mindset. We need to start thinking big. Look, the outside world are making it. Why is it not happening in the Gambia? Why are we not making it? Okay, we have a problem. And what is the problem? When they see that you are a different breed of individual who has a different sense of direction, you don't think like them, you don't walk like them, and they cannot pull you under their umbrella, they will belittle you. They will go after you. They will defame you. That's the challenges. And I love it when it comes to that, because that is not going to stop us from reaching our goal and put the country way forward, more than what we have today. Gambia is not owned by anybody but the youths of this country. We make 60% of this country. Am I not right? So what is stopping us to bring the change that is required for us to do? When it comes to our environment, when it comes to even our system, the way we do politics, we need to change things. It's not about you going into the personality of the people. What do you have for this country? What can you bring for the youth? What change can you make within the first 5 years? It's not about giving you that bag of rice, that bottle of nakalako oye sa haramaduga si all of it. Because suma yaram bi dafa tanga. You are going into 2026 and it's not going to be a steady, easy road for anybody. We want somebody that can give us that productivity. I never get into politics, but I'm saying next 5 years I'm going to politics. Yes, I mean it. We have to be ready for that. Because you see this system, I feel so much. I have so much to say. I have many things that is running in my mind as I look at your faces. I don't see an individual. I see Gambia. And it is time. I don't have to repeat it for us to change our mentality. This environment cannot be handled by an individual person. It cannot be handled just by government. Government can come maybe sometimes help in the initiatives. I mean, I will tell you a story today since I started the Zero Waste. You know how many fight I tumble upon? You know how many people that come on my way and say, no, she's not going to launch it. But today we'll launch it in the Gambia and we're going to go far. That's the reality. And that's why it goes to the extent even it affected some of our sponsors. But you know what? I cannot sleep without making this happen in the country. And nothing can stop that. Only Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can do. Because I have the belief that we have the requirements, we have the brain, we have the knowledge. And when I met with Lamin, he's my manager. Over the 6 years, he never come on board to show himself. But I told him, look, it is time we look waste to change our environment. And that being the case, he's a very good computer science expert. And I said to him, we need to work together. I'm going to bring all the computer science students under this umbrella. We see how best. It's not only Veroes we are coming to launch. We're going to launch many, many more projects, inshallah, in the future. So I want you guys to believe in something. Do not listen to the person that will tell you you cannot do it. Do not pay attention to the one who is telling you, I'm going to stop her or him. You have to get that belief in mind that you can make it. You know what? Plan. Even if you fail again, plan again. Because this is the only way that you can push to show them that, look, we have the system at hand and you cannot push us aside because you need us at the end of the day. I thank the government for approving our project. When we came up with the idea, they really welcomed the idea and they are ready to work with us, inshallah. I informed the NEA director and we have to, sit together and see how best they could come into board because our project is open for everybody. The councils, the same thing. It's open for everyone to come on board and see how best we can use the zero waste project, penetrating not just into the minds but the hearts of the Gambians. I want it to be in every home, in every bed. I want it, even a small baby that is born today will know about the zero waste. And that's how we can make our city, our streets, our compound clean. Because this is not just within us, it is beyond us. And that is our attitude. And that's why, as a team, we chose this topic. Our attitude and waste. Because you cannot have that cleaner environment if your attitude have a problem. And they have said it here. You eat, throw, litter, do whatever. Now it is a time. We are almost 300 here in this hall. From today, make it your sense of direction. If you see anybody throwing waste or litters on the street, please stop the brother and pick it for him to put it into the bins that are disposed. We thank Africa. To be quite honest, they are going to play a bigger role in this project, and we are super, super happy for that. Please give a round of applause for that. They didn't give us any problem, but rather welcome us with open mind and heart. But then again, to the people that are personally in the diaspora, they know themselves. We cannot pay them. If you see everything happening here, they are on the ground, making sure that we get all the things that we need. And yeah, together, that change that we are yearning for, together, of saying a woman cannot be in politics, I want to tell you today, we are going into politics in the next 5 years. Yes, I have the belief that this country will bring the change that is needed. And that's where I'm going to stop my speech. Thank you.